There is something unsettling happening right under the surface of everyday life, something so subtle that most people will never realize it. Yet, it determines everything about the reality they experience. Picture two individuals with the same age, the same education, and the same upbringing in the very same neighborhood. To an observer, their lives should unfold in similar ways, and yet one of them seems to walk through life with doors opening almost effortlessly, opportunities flowing in, and relationships aligning with ease, while the other struggles endlessly, facing obstacles that never seem to end, as though moving against an invisible current. The difference is not destiny, not chance, not karma. It isn't about having the right connections or strategies. It comes from something far more subtle and revolutionary. These two individuals are not actually living in the same world, even though they share the same physical space. Each inhabits a completely different reality, one that exists not outside of them, but within. And here is the most fascinating part. Without even realizing it, both of them created their own realities through an invisible mechanism. This is what is known as the mirror principle. Consider for a moment how some people walk into a room and instantly capture attention, while others remain invisible no matter how hard they try. Think about those who seem magnetic to financial abundance compared to those who work twice as hard yet remain stuck in scarcity. The mystery behind these differences is not found in self-help books, productivity hacks, or manipulation techniques. It lies in a universal principle so fundamental that once understood, it becomes impossible to keep living as a victim of circumstance. This principle silently governs every aspect of life, shaping the kind of people one attracts, the opportunities that appear, and even the outcomes that unfold. Each morning, without realizing it, every human being stands before the most important mirror of their existence. Not the mirror in the bathroom, not the reflection in a closet door or a phone screen, but the mirror of reality itself. And this mirror never lies, reflects back with absolute precision the deepest convictions a person cares about, who they are and how they believe the world operates. The reflection is not shaped by noble intentions or carefully chosen words. It is determined by the subconscious beliefs formed in the innermost layers of identity. The truth is simple, yet profound. People do not live in the external world as they imagine it exists. They live in their own internal projection of it. Reality, as it is experienced, is nothing more than the reflection of what is being projected onto this invisible mirror. So, if life in this moment feels unsatisfying or incomplete, if the results appear frustrating or disappointing, the reason is singular. The inner image being projected into this mirror is distorted. Change cannot begin by scratching at the surface of circumstances. It begins by clearing away the distortion and learning to see the true essence that already exists within. This is where the metaphor of the mirror becomes critical. Every external problem is a reflection of an inner state. Every frustration, every repeated obstacle, every disappointment is nothing more than the mirror showing the image of what is held internally. Yet human beings cling to the illusion that change can be made by trying to fix the reflection instead of the source. Imagine someone disliking the way they appear in the mirror and trying to change it by touching the glass. That is exactly what nearly all people do with their lives. They try to alter circumstances from the outside without realizing that the reflection comes from within. Most live their lives trapped in this misunderstanding, believing they are the reflection itself. They fight the mirrored image without ever touching the root, the inner identity that creates it. And so, life repeats the same patterns, like a script running in the background, until awareness interrupts the cycle. Most people spend their lives trying to change the reflection they see, not realizing that the real secret lies in transforming the one standing before the mirror. The mirror never changes first. The image projected into it must change, and only then will the reflection follow. When the inner identity shifts, the outer world adjusts automatically. Reality is not altered from the outside in, but from the inside out. The mirror of life operates under an unbreakable law. It only reflects the vibrational frequency that is being emitted. That frequency is made up of two essential elements. The first is the deepest layer of identity, what one truly believes about oneself, the way the world is perceived, and the meaning assigned to life. The second is the worldview created from those beliefs. The mirror itself does not judge whether the projection is positive or negative. It reflects with absolute loyalty. If the inner conviction is life is a struggle, the mirror confirms it with experiences of endless obstacles. If the inner identity says luck never comes, the mirror faithfully returns more proof of misfortune. This is why the mirror can become a prison for so many, endlessly reinforcing their unconscious beliefs. Yet, the very same principle holds the key to liberation. The moment a person chooses the path of inner transformation, the mirror ceases to be an enemy and instead becomes the most powerful ally. It magnifies the new frequency and amplifies results to extraordinary levels. So the question arises, how can a positive reflection be consciously projected, serving those who consistently transform their realities? A pattern emerges. Whether aware of it or not, they master for fundamental principles. These can be called the 4 secrets of the mirror masters. A master is not someone unreachable or mystical, but anyone who has learned to unite knowledge with practice until it becomes lived wisdom. Anyone willing to apply these secrets can join their ranks. The first secret is the art of conscious projection. While the majority project an image by accident, masters do it by design. Instead of basing their identity on current circumstances, I am this because my life looks like that, they reverse the process. They designed the inner identity first and allowed the mirror to catch up, gradually reflecting the new image with precision. One effective exercise is to ask a simple yet powerful question. Who must I become to live the life I desire? The focus is not on what to achieve or accumulate, but on identity itself. What qualities define that future version? How does this self think, act, and respond to challenges? What energy radiates from this presence? From that vision, a personal identity statement can be written, one that reflects the essence of the person already becoming. For example, I attract opportunities with ease. Obstacles transform into stepping stones in my path. Solutions appear naturally around me. The crucial step is to embody that declaration now, not in some distant future. To think, feel, and act as the person already aligned with this new truth. When the identity shifts at its core, the endless chasing of external results becomes unnecessary. Wholeness replaces the feeling of lack, and the mirror reflects back abundance. Opportunities and relationships magnetically aligned with the new vibration. The paradox is striking. When the focus shifts entirely to being, the pursuit of having loses its grip. Yet, in that very moment, the realm of having begins to overflow. The reflection brings not scraps, but abundance, not resistance, but flow, because the person standing before the mirror has changed. The outer world is simply compelled to keep up. Now comes the second secret, the gardener's patience. There is always a delay between changing who you are and seeing that new image reflected back as results. That gap is where most people quit. Picture a gardener who plants a seed, checks the soil the next morning, and then, by the third day, seeing nothing, digs it up to plant something else. A harvest never arrives that way. Physical reality has density. It cannot reorganize as quickly as the mind can form a new picture. Circumstances require time to align with a freshly chosen identity. Instant creation only appears to happen for those who have strengthened their inner state through consistent practice, removed doubt about who they are, and planted for a long season. When that level of being is stabilized, creation looks effortless, but it was never random. It was cultivated. This is why the first secret conscious projection must be mastered, and why the second gardener's patience must be honored. The path to powerful creation asks for fidelity to the new identity, even when the reflection hasn't caught up. Keep being who was chosen to be, especially when external evidence is thin. That steadfastness is the inflection point where reality begins to pivot. Enter the third secret, the power of directed focus. The mirror of reality does not reflect the emotion wrapped around a thought. It reflects the object of focus inside that thought. Consider the difference. Thinking I hate being without money does not broadcast the feeling of dislike. It's broadcast without money, and the mirror confirms scarcity. Thinking I can't stand this job does not transmit frustration. It transmits this job, and the mirror returns more of it. Its key is to re-aim attention from what is not wanted to what is being chosen. Replace tired of being broke with becoming a magnet for abundance. Replace hate feeling insecure with building unshakable confidence. The principle is simple, yet embodiment requires practice, because many years of automatic attention have been trained on problems instead of outcomes. Finally, the fourth secret, the most transformative of all these, exiting the reverse cycle of creation. Most people live in a loop that keeps the present frozen. Observe current reality, form identity from what is observed. Project that identity back to the mirror. Receive proof that confirms the starting point. Then repeat. Masters reverse the order. Rather than treating today's reflection as the authority, they choose the image of the future self and project it deliberately and consistently second after second, day after day, year after year, despite conflicting evidence. They notice every small confirmation that the new reality is emerging and celebrate it, which amplifies the signal of being. When these principles are applied, the field responds. Small synchronicities appear. The right people arrive at the right time. Opportunities that were invisible become obvious. This is not chance. It is the mirror reflecting a new vibrational signature with precision. Let this message be more than another idea that drifts by. Put the 4 secrets into motion today and live from them daily. A small fraction will truly apply them. And those who do discover the truth that was always present. The power to shape the reflection has always been in their hands. The artist before the mirror, the director of the life film, has always been there. The difference now is conscious authorship. There comes a point in every life when a choice must be made. Remain a spectator of circumstances or step forward as the architect of reality. Reaching this moment means the mirror is already in place, unwavering, ready to return whatever image is offered to it. Which signal will be projected now? Keep broadcasting the old picture, and the reflection will remain unchanged. Shift the identity behind the gaze, and the entire landscape reorganizes. Doors appear where walls once stood. People, chances, and solutions align as if summoned. The mirror is waiting with perfect patience. Decide the reflection to witness resilience, abundance, clarity, love, peace, power. Anchor that choice with a single sentence in the comments to seal the new frequency, and subscribe to this channel to keep your field tuned to alignment and momentum. The moment of authorship is here. Choose the image and watch reality learn your new face.